they don't have an offensive line.
Jesse the Body and Squirrel live.
Welcome back, guys. This is the show to listen to on YouTube every week, every day from about, I'm going to start putting a little bit of these clips on like Facebook Live and stuff so that like you guys can get a little piece, and then you guys got to go get the rest of it. Got to go get the rest of the goodness over on the other side. That other man you see in the yellow shirt and the yellow glasses is the main man, Jesse Frary. How you doing, big man?
Good. How are you doing today, sir?
Big
game tonight, baby.
Yeah, big game tonight. Pat McAfee and the boys are talking about it right now with old Chuck Pagano on there. So, dude, a lot of stuff I want to get to today. I know you don't have so much time as we are both as well. I'm going to be a new father, and as you are a father of many. I know you have a lot of stuff to do. So that's why we can scrape these in here and there. But I got a lot of fantasy things I want to talk to you about. A few good things about the game tonight, maybe a bet or two that we might put down, and a few more fantasy tips and things that I want to get to about some of the players on a roster. If anybody has any questions like this guy or that guy, I want them to kind of be able to pick your brain and see what kind of motions you go through to decide and something like that. We're going to do that here in just a bit. Tonight's game, dude, big one for Green Bay, big one for Detroit as well. I think it's equally big for both sides, honestly. There's so much that could happen in either one of these games tonight, or in this game tonight particularly, that can change the outlook of what the season looks for some of these teams. Green Bay needs to. I think they really need to win this game.
I mean, and I think Detroit really needs to win this game. I think this is, with Green Bay gets Christian Watson and Aaron Jones back, but Elton Jenkins, Bakhtiari, our third string our whole left side of the offense is hurt. Everybody said when Aaron Rodgers is out, this is a time for a new team to take over the North. And Detroit's now won 3 in a row against Green Bay, and this is their game now. They need to go out there and prove we are the front runners of the North. And they're going to try to do that tonight. This first time in 37 years that they've been favored to win at Lambeau.
Yeah.
So to me, and I know it's early, but this is the biggest game Detroit has played in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And that's just because there's so much implications on the line to see if Detroit is really what we thought they are. A lot of people has them to pin to be, I think in ESPN and a lot of them, CBS, NFL Network, PPF, I think they're all in like the top 8 teams, in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people got them in the top 18. So let's go see if that's what they're about. I don't ever root against Green Bay, obviously. And I just have a feeling that, they're not gonna beat Green Bay. I think Jordan Love has showed a lot of poise so far this year that he's gonna make things happen, and he showed that a lot last week. Detroit's had a lot of close games. That whole Atlanta game was really close until some busted coverages. And I don't think you're going to get that with Green Bay. I don't think you're going to get those busted coverages since last year. Jared Goff is like thrown for 19 touchdowns on play action. Yeah. So I think we got to shut that down. It's going to be a good game. I don't think anything is going to run away. I do see Green Bay coming on top by a couple of points.
Okay. I mean, I like that. I think I'm with Green Bay as well. I went and picked a FanDuel thing already this morning. And I haven't kind of evened out. You know, I have Love and Goff both on that one. But you know, it's what I really want to think, and what I really want to get your thoughts on is when it comes to fantasy football, as we both play a lot. When you think about games throughout the week and matchups and stuff like that, what do you think about when like a Thursday night game like this is a hard-nosed division game comes into play? Of, you know, somebody has Jared Goff maybe on their bench as a backup. Is this maybe a good week to, you know, since I think it's more or less going to be a shootout. I mean, I think it's going to be air here and there. Both defenses aren't in the top ends of the league, but they both can play very well when they need to. And I think that a lot of situations, Jared Goff is still very, very talented individual. And I think that they have a very high flying, high powered offense at some points. You know, Detroit does with Green Bay the same way. You know, where do you think, or how do I phrase this? How would you go about thinking about fantasy options for tonight? You know,
we've always talked. I'm always very weary of playing any players on a Thursday night game, and unless it was like last week, you know, when it's San Francisco versus the Giants, and play everything for San Francisco.
Yeah, we talked.
I've always been weary about that. You got to remember, these teams are coming off of playing a game 4 days ago. You know, and especially, thank God, it's like Detroit against Green Bay. They're right there. I mean, it's not a far travel, but could you imagine if it was somebody like Tampa coming and playing Green Bay? You know, to travel that's you always worry about those matchups. Green Bay's defense is actually like one of the number one rated defenses through 3 quarters.
Yeah.
If they can play in and a lot of that is
fourth quarter that gets them.
Yeah, a lot of that is flex. A lot of that is flex from when, you know, it was 35 to 10 against the Bears, and then they put their third and fourth strings in, whatever. And of course, they let Atlanta just run the ball non-stop on them in the fourth quarter. And, you know, last week there was no point scored in the second half. But so Derek Carr's down. There's a lot of those what ifs. I'm always weary, especially divisional game on Thursday night. They go one of 2 ways. It's either, like you said, it's going to be, you know, one of those 37-35 games, or it's going to be one of those 17-14 games. You know, just because these guys are tired, and, you know, it's the defenses that really take over. So I would be very wary and cautious of starting a guy like Jared Goff, because Jared Goff is a pocket passer. I think last week that was his first rushing touchdown in forever. So I'm always weary about starting a guy like that. Where on the other hand, I'm not so much about Jordan Love, because he's very, very athletic. Jordan Love has showed you now in the fantasy game that he's probably going to get you a 50 rushing yards as well as, you know, a 250 passing, which those equate to add up for a lot of points. So
absolutely.
If you're worried about starting, if you have Jared Goff on your bench, I don't know what other options you might have out there if you're in a 2-quarterback or 1-quarterback league, but I say go ahead, sit him this week and see, and if you have somebody else to start, wait for Sunday to start them. Don't start Jared Goff tonight.
Okay. Kind of working into that, you know, knowing that there's a lot of, you know, players. I have a few guys that I want to talk about, you know, in my mind process and yours, to see, you know, do I start this guy or this guy? You know, what's the process you go through? So I want to run through a few of those here. Like tonight, I have a few guys that are going to be playing. I'm a little weary on Jahmyr Gibbs because I also have DeAndre Swift that is playing against Washington. Jahmyr Gibbs against Detroit. Where are you with that? Do you try to trust Jahmyr Gibbs tonight? Maybe throw him in the flex and get a little lucky, kind of save your running back position, or do you just switch him right now and just take what you get with it with him not playing?
And so David Montgomery supposedly supposed to be back tonight. Detroit has one of the most versatile run games, and this is more football knowledge than fantasy knowledge, which you need a little bit of to know what to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Detroit has next to the Falcons probably the best, most dynamic, most schemeful type of run offense. That's why I just said before, Jared Goff has the most touchdowns off play action since last year. It's because of that run game, the run scheme, and the run package that they put in. They can very well run a pony style offense, which is both backs in that backfield.
Yeah.
And when you have a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs, which, by the way, has done more this year than Bijan Robinson. And so you got to take that into consideration. I would definitely have him there in my flex, especially with his upside of being able to get over the top of offenses, being able to sit there in the slot. He's a guy who can come on a wheel route and burn it down deep, down the sidelines. He's a guy who can come across, shoot across the linebacker's face, catch a slant. He's one of those guys for you. So I've been high on him. I think we both are. I would definitely start him. For sure.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
For sure. Okay. We'd be starting Jahmyr.
Okay. Absolutely. So tonight, I'm kind of more with you. I would have him in my flex spot because I also have I got Swift who's going to play against Washington this week. I think I'd throw him up in my running back spot, also with Raheem Mostert, because I got Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, and now Jahmyr Gibbs in my flex, which I'm pretty happy with that. I took out Tutu Atwell, which somebody's got to go. It's just how it is. Speaking of Tutu Atwell, in another league I have Jalen Waddle or Tutu Atwell. I have Tutu starting already right now. He's going to play Indianapolis. Jalen Waddle is on my bench coming off of a little bit of injury, but it's going to play against Buffalo, which is going to be a back and forth, I think, rock star battle. Where's your mindset kind of with something like that, especially someone kind of coming off of an injury?
So, you pretty much got it.
But still as talented as he is.
Yeah, you can't. So coming off that injury, Tua is going to want to feed him. That's one of those games, man. Like you said, it's going to be a shootout. They're going to have to score points. Both teams can score at will. And then with Tutu Atwell, I think this is the week where teams are starting to figure out what teams are. Yeah. That's why your Pukas, your Kyren Williams, three of those guys on that Rams team are highest in fantasy.
Yeah.
They're top.
The only reason I'm a little low on Puka is because he's got a little rib injury and he's thinking about not playing as much this weekend and sitting out. And Cooper Kupp's going to be coming back next week possibly. So, Puka is starting to take a small dive. This is where fantasy owners like yourself and me know you're starting to see it. He's going to take a small backseat this week. If Tutu does well, Puka's going to have to sit on that bench for a minute because no one's going to take Cooper Kupp's spot. So that's, and that's things you just look out for. Go ahead.
Yeah. And like you said it right there. I mean, he is the number 2, is he going to be the number 2, and I don't care the situation unless Waddle is not playing because he's injured. I'm starting Waddle every single time. And that's just because every single week what Miami has showed you is you can start everybody on their team and you're going to win your fantasy league.
You know, it's just 15, 20 points out of all of them. Yeah.
He spreads the wealth around. You know what I mean? Is Jalen Waddle maybe not going to go catch the touchdown pass, but I guarantee he's going for $120, you know, and 10 catches. So right there, you got 26 points.
So would you as a fantasy owner maybe keep Tutu Atwell as a starter and maybe Jalen Waddle's flex and then maybe figure something out there, or do you just start Jalen and sit Tutu this week against Indianapolis?
I would, especially if you're wanting to put Jahmyr Gibbs in there in your flex, and if that was on the same team.
Different league.
Yeah, I don't. You might want to, if that, like, now we're in a different. If it's Jalen Waddle or Tutu, you're starting Jalen.
Yep.
If you have a spot for Tutu, put him in there. You know,
so you're saying he has enough upside as a flex position.
Put him, because again, you're getting into the thing where now they're going to want to stop Kyron and Puka. You know, and Tutu is going to fly under that radar. Tutu is your guy who's going to fly under that radar, who's going to catch those balls, because you are now putting more eyes on the running back situation, and you're putting more eyes on the Puka situation. That, you know, it's going to be a good game for Tutu, you know. So you definitely want to try to get him in there at some point.
One more for you, another wide receiver mismatch. George Pickens against Houston or Joshua Palmer against Las Vegas. I picked Palmer up this week. I literally just threw him in to start right now, but I do have Pickens on the bench. Was kind of thinking about it. Pickens has his weeks, you know, and this could be that week against Houston, you know, with that secondary not so great, but they did pretty well against Jacksonville. Where are you at with the Pickens and Palmer?
I think Jordan Palmer is going to be the workhorse there now, you know, with Mike going down. We've been high on him since last year. I think now is sort of this is his team now in a sense. You know, this is his. You have to go and be some. You have to go and be the number one. You know, so
you talking about George Pickens?
No, I'm talking about Joshua Palmer with Mike Williams going down.
Well, I mean, he's not outdoing Keenan Allen.
Well, I think that they're going to look at Palmer to be more of a number one guy right now than they are Keenan Allen.
Oh, you know why? You mean it like number one outside? Obviously, he's not the number one, but he's 1-1. You know.
No. That's what I'm saying. You're
number one wide receiver.
You're going to be. You're not okay. You're not the number one on the team. You know, like I said, you got Keenan Allen opposite of you. Right. But what does Keenan Allen require? Multiple eyes, multiple people's attention.
Hey, with 18 receptions in one game,
you know,
I've been triple covering the guy all the rest of the year.
And that's what I'm saying. So you are going to be looked at as to be our number one guy for this game. I think that's a very valuable position to start with him. We said it yesterday. George Pickens has potential to be the number one wide receiver in the league with the right guy throwing him the ball. You know, even with Kenny Pickett throwing George Pickens the ball, he's got potential to be top 10.
You don't think Pickett's the right man to throw Pickens the ball?
Not right now. Unfortunately, not right now. And they don't, you know, with Deontay Johnson being hurt, and Pat Freiermuth not really being what everybody hoped he would be so far. I think there's just too many eyes. And I always say the eyes on the player. There's just too many eyes on George Pickens right now, you know, with these other missing pieces for him to be, you know, a really, you know, he's that guy who's going to get you the 25, 30 points. Because in a situation, to me real quick, like a George Pickens our Joshua Palmer situation, you have to pick the right guy because those guys, either they're going to get you 6 points or they're going to get you, 25, 30 points. Yeah. There is no 12, 13, those ain't those type of guys, whereas like your AJ Browns and stuff, they might get you the middle of the pack, but they're not going to get you that super, super low. So you got to think about like, okay, I really can't afford that 6 point game, so you have to use that as a little bit of bait and think like, all right, can maybe one of these guys, like for instance, a Joshua Palmer, because I still have Keenan Allen over there and they're going to triple team this guy. Like you said, he's going to be open a little bit more. So he might this game actually get you 12, and 12 would be okay. It's better than 6, where a George Pickens can get you. So you take the gamble. That turns you into sort of kind of a 4-1 odds instead of a 50-50 odds. So I would take those odds with Joshua Palmer over George Pickens.
And you know what? Actually, I got one more for you. This is in the big league that you own. That we are all competing for the big money. Gabe Davis against Miami or Ramondre Stevenson against Dallas. This is for my flex position. Where's your mindset? So you see now, and if a lot of people are going to be watching this here shortly, you can look at the confusion on his face of how hard of a decision that could be. When even we know Ramondre Stevenson, pretty good running back, he is playing Dallas. Gabe Davis, secondary, wide receiver 2 is Stephon Diggs playing Miami. I think there could be a shitload of upside with Gabe Davis there. And I think there could be a great bit of downside with Ramondre Stevenson playing against the Dallas defense.
And but you sort of,
James Conner had 18 points last week in fantasy against Dallas's defense. So,
So with Dallas ain't gonna let that happen again. I think it takes I think it takes some. Not saying that it's not going to happen again in 5-6 weeks, but usually these teams that we consider elite, they don't go back to back like that. I would definitely in that situation start Gabe Davis because we alluded to it earlier. It's going to be one of those games, man. It's probably a 50-50 game. 50 point to 50 point game. It's like these teams are gotta go out there and score. Buffalo has to score. They have to. And I think it's going to take
you're gonna have to score.
And I think it's going to take a lot of targeting guys like Gabe Davis. This is what I'm thinking in my head. I'm thinking this is going to be a very big game for Gabe Davis. I think this is going to be a game like he had in the playoffs where he set a NFL playoff record for most scoring touchdowns, our receiving touchdowns. I think this has potential to be one of those types of games for him. So I'm starting him over Ramondre.
Okay, me too. Just did it for you. Thank you. Look at that. If that helps me win in our league, I'll tell you what. I'll give you nothing.
I'll give you nothing. I'll give you a thumbs up.
Thanks, Josie. Yep, Gabe Davis is in there tonight. I also have Stephon Diggs, Jalen Waddle, Tutu Atwell, Travis Kelce, Jerome Ford, DeAndre Swift, Anthony Richardson, Geno Smith, Colts defense, and Matt Gay, baby. That's it.
I got a quick one. I got a quick one for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. So Christian Watson is finally playing tonight.
Yeah.
Do you start him first week that he's playing? So would you start him over Christian Kirk or Kendrick Bourne?
Definitely both.
Definitely start him over both of them.
Yeah, that's actually a quick assessment for me, like real fast, because with him coming off that injury, everyone's like, oh, he's gonna go a little slow. The hell he will. That man is coming out. Listen, I've been watching this a long time. Anybody I've ever seen, a lot of other sports, baseball, they want to take a few swings. Let me get a few out there. The soccer, people are taking, I want to play 10, 15 minutes. Let me play a little bit. Football, if you're not ready, you are not walking out there, dude. It's not happening. If you are half-ass with a calf, they're like, nope. Nah. We'll give you 2 snaps, buddy. That's it. You You can throw the ball once. No, this guy is going to come out exploding tonight.
I think so too.
Hey, ready? 2 tutties, 140.
You think?
Oh,
That's
dude.
what
Dude.
I think.
Because somebody's taking a seat. Jaden Reed's probably going to take a seat tonight at least. So
Or Devontae Wicks. Wicks. Yeah.
Either one, dude. And I'll tell you what, dude. Watch the first drive. Christian Watson, bro.
That's what I think.
It's
First,
either him or Aaron Jones. They're both coming back from that injury tonight. I think Aaron Jones is gonna play.
No, they already said they're both playing.
Okay, so
yeah, I think that was my idea around it, and I wanted to, sort of kind of solidify that for myself.
Yeah, I got him in a few leagues. Only reason I'm not starting. I mean, I got Tyreek Hill, and I got I forgot the other guy I had. Man, it's just. Yeah, he's going to do great, but it's like, make sure you think, though. I mean, you can't just Christian Watson over Tyreek Hill. Like, wait, whoa, stop, slow down, and I think people think about that a lot, I think, oh, he's going to play tonight, he's going to get a lot of work, and they just do that, and it's like, what are you doing? Come on, and, think about what you have. Put him in a flex. Great flex option tonight. Amazing flex option this week.
Yeah.
I think he's probably going to be top flex option this week. For fantasy owners, especially until he has 1 or 2 weeks and he proves that he's back to the man, and then I think in 2 weeks or so you can throw him back to the number 1 wide receiver spot, absolutely. But for right now, flex all night, baby, all day. 2 touchdowns, 140. I'll give him 8 catches.
Nice. That's a good. That would help me out because I'm playing the best guy in our league. So I definitely need that.
That's a 30-point night.
Oh yeah, and then especially if Jordan Love is throwing them 2 touchdowns to him, that means.
I seen a bet on the thing tonight. I took a picture of it. It was something about spreading the love. About everybody has 25 yards, 25 receptions, not 25 receptions.
Oh, everybody catches like more than 3 or 5 receptions type deal.
Yeah, it was a lot of man, I wish I could just pull it right back up with this stupid phone. Oh, I don't even know how to find screenshots. I'm so old. Was that on my settings? No, it should be in like the camera roll. But actually, you know what? I should just be smarter and hit the DraftKings app because it's right on.
While you look that up, we alluded to a couple of good, options. Like, what do you do in these type of situations? And we might have not put it out there so hard, but if you see the undertone of what we had is matchups. What is that matchup? We mentioned a bunch of times the Buffalo-Miami game it's going to be high scoring. We said about how Ramondre Stevenson, last week they gave up 100+ to James Conner and 2 tutties. And, but then what did we say right after that? That's not going to happen again. Not back-to-back weeks, maybe in a couple of weeks, but not back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the NFL is a copycat league. The NFL is a copycat league. Let me say it one more time. The NFL is a copycat league. So every team is going to see what worked for another team and try to do the same thing.
That's just how.
If you do have Ramondre Stevenson there, and say you got a running back like Najee Harris that you're still thinking is going to do something, I would, in this situation, maybe start Ramondre over like a Najee Harris type of guy because of that fact of, the first quarter, they're going to try to do exactly what Arizona did, to whatchamacallit. And it's like, you see these things. So you got to take that into consideration, but I wanted to show that the undertone of it's matchup, man. You got to look at these matchups.
And I think we've talked about that so much. Matchup. Check this out. The Aaron ground rate tonight, plus 900 on this. Amon-Ra St. Brown plus 75 plus receiving yards. Luke Musgrave, 25 plus receiving yards. David Montgomery to score a touchdown. That's the only. And then Aaron Jones to score a touchdown. Plus 900 on that. That's an absolute amazing odd. Here's another one. America's Silver Crush. Jared Goff, 250 plus passing yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 75 plus receptions, receiving yards. And Sam Laporta, 25 plus receiving yards. That's plus 750. That's easy cash. I mean,
Easy.
$10 on something like that, that's easy cash. $75, dude. I mean, you're walking out of here with easy money. $85, excuse me, with a sometimes these odds are weird numbers. But here's another one. It's called Lambeau Love. Green Bay Packers to win. Jordan Love, 200 plus passing. Romeo Doubs, over 40 and a half, which is probably going to go. And Aaron Jones to score.
Oh, that's a good one.
Plus 700.
Yeah, $10, $700.
Dude, they're just giving money away here. And here's the one I was telling you about. It's called Spread the Love. Jordan Love, 200 plus passing. Christian Watson, over 36 and a half receiving. Romeo Doubs, 25 plus receiving. And Luke Musgrave, 25 plus receiving. Plus 775.
Damn.
Dude, they're handing money away at the DraftKings Sportsbook, ladies and gentlemen. Please go. That's a link right there. Go out there and smash that. I go down to Illinois all the time and make bets.
And I'm gonna tell you this much. Damn, it's pouring here. I'm gonna tell you this much. If you want it, I don't normally say things like this, and I try to stay away from it because I'm probably gonna shoot myself in the foot for saying it anyways. But I think this is going to be Green Bay's big come out. Last week, what they did was amazing. You know, it was the first time done since like 1955. I get all that. But I think this week, you're going to see that Matt LaFleur offense, dude, go and just score. I think it's going to be like one of those score at will type of things. You know, we got our running back, you know, where Aaron, that's the thing what people don't understand. Aaron Jones stretches you out. It makes you play the boundary. And when you're scared of that threat and you bring somebody in like Dylan, that's why Dylan always looks so good when Aaron Jones plays. But when Aaron Jones don't, you only have to defend the middle of the field. And I think those little things, man, and are going to start to come in effect tonight. I think you're going to see those things. It's going to be a good game, though.
Yeah. All right, quick. We got a minute from the producer. Give me your score tonight, and I'll give you mine, and we'll see who gets it.
31-27 Green Bay.
That's pretty good.
Is that about where you're at?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He said, yeah, that's probably about where I'm at.
Yeah, that's you know what? I'm gonna go a little higher, and I'm gonna go. Oh, you're gonna hate me, dude. It's on the paper. 32-35 Detroit. I think they win a shootout, man.
See, I think it's going to be a shootout tonight. I really do.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
I think
Just to let you guys know that over hits on a definite. The over is 45. So the over is.
It's definitely going over 40.
Over.
Definitely. This is going to be the best Thursday night football game we've seen since it's been on Amazon Prime.
So this year, or was it last year? They had Amazon Prime last year.
Yeah, and what good? Remember, we would always do our podcast during it and be like, during these damn games, dude.
During the game last year, I forgot we used to do our podcast during the game. So yeah, but anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Love you guys. See you next week.